Hello, everyone. Welcome. Give it a second here as other people are coming in. Welcome to the Bay Area Case Studies Virtual College Fair Explorer session. Thank you for joining us. Just a few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your cameras and microphones are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening. Sign up for more if you haven't done so already at the same place you signed up for this one. This presentation is being recorded. It'll be available within about a week at strivescan.com/BACS. Or BACS, you'd like to say it that way. We are in session 6. Here are the 6 schools that have representatives here, and they will be presenting. So we will hear from Williams College, Davidson College, Loyola University Chicago, Washington University in St. Louis, American University, and Hobart and William Smith College. All right, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to step out of the way since I've gotten the housekeeping stuff out of the way and turn it over to our first presenter from Williams College.
Hi, thank you. So hello, everyone, and I hope you're healthy and safe wherever you are. My name is Jillian Wood. I'm an assistant director in the admissions office at Williams College. And a little bit about Williams. So we are a small liberal arts college. We're located in the northwest corner of Massachusetts, so right near the border of Vermont and New York State. And we have 2,200 undergraduates, so really a small college, and we have small class sizes. That's really intentional. So we have a 7-to-1 student to faculty ratio, and our average class size is 13 students in a classroom. So that small size is really intentional, and it's about facilitating that relationship directly with faculty. Professors are the ones teaching our students. There aren't graduate students teaching undergraduates at Williams. And a couple unique things about our academic setting. First is the way the requirements work at Williams. So we have something called divisional requirements. All of our academic programs are divided into 3 divisions: Division 1, Arts and Languages; Division 2, Social Sciences; and Division 3, Math and Science. And students take 3 classes in each of those 3 divisions by the time they graduate. So the reason I mentioned it is because students at Williams have a lot of flexibility. You don't have to take very specific classes, but you're pushed a little bit to explore a lot of different areas, and a lot of times bridge those interests. One thing that's unique, I mentioned we have small class sizes. One particularly small and particularly unique type of class at Williams that we actually adapted from Oxford University is something called the Williams tutorial. This is a style of class that is just 2 students and a professor, and that is the whole class. And so it's sort of a unique opportunity for students to really be collaborating. It's really just you, your tutorial partner, and the professor really engaging, diving deeply into material. The last thing I'll mention is affordability at Williams, which is really important. And so we think about affording not just that sticker price, but what are all of the elements that come into a college experience. So for example, we have a book grant so that all for anyone receiving financial aid, all of their books and supplies for their classes, that's free. You know, we have free storage for students. We have health insurance for students who need it. The list sort of goes on. But really, I emphasize that when we say we meet 100% of demonstrated need, we are thinking of not just that tuition, room, and board price, but what are all of the pieces that go into a college education and an education at Williams, and how do we make all of that accessible and affordable? And so that is sort of a bit about Williams. I think I have made it under my my time limit, but I will toss it back to our facilitator.
Thank you very much. And I'll use this time to remind people who came in that you can use the Q&A at any time to ask questions of any of our representatives. If it's for a specific school, just name the school in your question. Up next, we will hear from Davidson College.
Hello, good evening, or I guess it's early evening out there for you all. It is bedtime here on the East Coast, according to my dog, who has finally settled down. So if you see a small little head pop up, she's just telling me It is that time, but glad you all are joining us this evening. My name's again Lee Hoffman with Davidson College in Davidson, North Carolina. So we are a small liberal arts college located about 20 miles north of Charlotte, North Carolina. So biggest city in the state of North Carolina. We're about 3.5 hours in from the coast, an hour and a half in from the mountains. I'm not going to go through a lot of these stats and things about Davidson because you can find those really quickly on our website, and want to focus more on kind of just the place that this is, the type of student that typically might come to Davidson and really enjoy it and want to be in a place like this. We are a really intentional community. So again, only 2,000 students. So people really take the time to come to get to know each other. Our professors come here, take the time to get to know students. I always tell students you're going to be known as not only just a student in a classroom, but a person in this place. I love the fact that, we have really fantastic advising at Davidson. You don't have to declare your major to the end of sophomore year, so you have time to come in and explore. You get a holistic advisor when you start at Davidson who is a faculty or staff member, but there's this unofficial advising that happens as well, just that comes from faculty and staff members. And so many students have stories of jobs and internships and study abroad programs they've done, or the opportunity to stay on campus or live in Davidson and stay in a professor's house and take care of their dogs while they're on a sabbatical. And all of this happens just because it's the place that people come and intentionally want to be part of a small committed place. Academics are big here. We bring students who are very academically focused, the type of students that sit in the classroom and their wheels are turning and they're saying, okay, I want to keep this conversation going. They're making connections. They're willing to take classes in a broad range of areas. We have distribution requirements at Davidson, like many places do, but a lot of flexibility within those. So students appreciate the opportunity to come in and really explore. We have a big push amongst our students too of students taking advantage of creating their own majors. So that has tripled in the past couple of years, the number of students who, through the Center for Interdisciplinary Studies, have the opportunity to come utilize professors and staff around campus and kind of go through and decide what they want to explore a little bit deeper. So really intentional community. One of the things that underpins the community at Davidson is our honor code. So a lot of places have honor codes. Davidson really takes theirs to another level in the sense that, this is pre-COVID times, but students were sitting and taking exams or finals in their dorms or, on their own time. They weren't in classrooms doing that. So self-scheduled finals, take-home exams, unproctored exams. It's the kind of place where you can typically leave your stuff laying around, doors unlocked. Our police chief does not encourage students to do that, but it is a place where there's that trust amongst students. And I think it ultimately boils down to we attract the type of student who really leads with that sense of integrity. That's a big important thing for our students, that not only is truth and honesty and upholding themselves to that high level really important, but the expectation of everybody else around them. So that is led by a student honor council. There's one faculty member that helps oversee that, but our students really take that to heart, and it makes a really kind of tight-knit bond amongst Davidson students that follows them well past their time at Davidson. So when you talk to alums and people that have gone on, that's a big part of their formative kind of personal pieces. Another big piece is that they look outside themselves, say, how can I help? What can I do? Our students are incredibly involved. They all do service. We don't require it. They just do. Lots of clubs, intramurals, sports. We check all the boxes for things like, research and study abroad and internships. We have some really cool spaces on campus, actually, that, yes, the Career Center, but we've actually developed a place called the Gig Hub or the Hurt Hub on campus, which allows for students to work directly with people in the Charlotte region who work out of that space. It is a shared working space. COVID's put a little bit of a wrench in that, but everybody is coming back, which is great. But our students can get paid to work with startups, to work with companies that want our students to be able to have real world experience. We also pack a big punch athletically. So we're Division I school, even though we only have 2,000 students. So we get that big sports feel. Also arts, music, theater, because we are small, students can be in an a cappella group or be an athlete. They can be an artist and not have to major in those areas. Those faculty will welcome you, but that's not something that you're required to do. And we try and bring as many students as possible from all over the country, all over the world. We have students from just about every state. California is our biggest Western state, followed by Colorado. And we are committed, similar to Williams, to meeting 100% of calculated need for every single student. And we do that with a 10-hour-a-week work study, and the rest we fulfill with grants and scholarships. So we don't package loans. We also have multiple programs on campus to help students really be able to afford their time at Davidson. So, you know, for internships, for traveling, we have opportunities for that to get paid for. We have spaces on campus to borrow interview clothes, or every single textbook that is used is available to students free of charge in our Lulabelle Resource Center. So that's a really important part about Davidson is, you know, the importance of education, the importance of access for everyone. So I also am not really sure where I am with time. Yeah, it must be close. So I will go ahead and log off.
Thank you very much. And I'm going to remind everyone the 6 schools that we have in our session here. And I'll also remind everyone, if you have questions, just use the Q&A button. You can do that at any time. Up next, we will hear from Loyola University Chicago.
Thank you, Russ. Let me get my screen up here. My name's Emily, and I represent Loyola Chicago. I just want to first say I just love the diversity of schools in this room tonight. I always learn so much at these sessions about other schools, and I just love this room tonight. I represent Loyola Chicago. I'm a regional representative. I reside here on the West Coast. I'm in Oakland this evening, and I work with students primarily who are coming from the West Coast. And that just in normal times means that I am close to meet with you in person. In these days, it's all meeting with you on Zoom like we're doing this evening. Loyola Chicago, sorry, here we go, is a mid-sized Jesuit university. And so what does it mean to be Jesuit university? I could definitely talk about that for longer than 6 minutes, but the 2 things I will say about it is that it means that we care for the whole individual. We think of the individual as a mind, body, and spirit, and all 3 of those need to be healthy for a student to be healthy. The second thing is that we really believe in social justice. So we provide opportunities for social justice, and really the community that we attract are students who are interested in doing something in the community, making their community a better place, starting when they're a student at Loyola Chicago. And so we get students that are excited about that, and we get students who are excited about the opportunities that we provide for them to continue in that and to take part in that. Campus, as you can see from this slide, we have students from all 50 states on our campus, and California is also the #1 represented state for us outside of Illinois. And so you're going to have a very diverse population in your dorm. You're going to have international students there. Students from lots of different countries are represented on our campus. We are a Catholic university, so we clearly offer a lot for Catholic students, but we also have a Hall of Religions, and in our Hall of Religion, we have a student-run mosque, a Punjab prayer center, a kosher kitchen, just spaces for students from lots of different religious backgrounds to practice their faith. But even students that come from non-faith backgrounds are welcome. And that's also part of being a Jesuit university. Everyone is welcome on our campus. We are a residential campus, so we're very lively when classes get out. We don't get quiet on the weekends or even during long weekends because students come from so far away. Students live on campus their first couple of years. I love these pictures here that show you the 2 campuses that we have in Chicago. We're located in the northern part, right on Lake Michigan, our main campus, the Lakeshore campus. It's a beautiful liberal arts campus. It has that feel to it in the heart of Chicago, so it's really unique. Lots of green spaces. That's what I love about Chicago. It's about the same size as New York, but has fewer people, lots of green space, and then just having that lake gives it a really unique feel. Second campus we have, our Water Tower campus, is located in the heart of Chicago, right off of Miracle Mile. So it's really awesome. Our students just love that we have both of those campuses, that you kind of get the best of both worlds in just this really awesome city. Chicago is a great city to be a college student, very easy to get around, just a very vibrant place to study for sure. You can Google Google that one all day long and find all the fun stuff to do. These are our academics. We have 8 schools that have programs for undergraduate students. So lots of programs. With the number that we're at, we can offer over 80 different majors and 80 different minors. So it's very easy for students to do kind of cross-disciplinary studies, double majors, major, minor. You can come in undeclared or undecided. The only exception to that is our direct entry nursing program. That is a direct, you need to apply for it when you apply. But yeah, outside of that, there's a lot of flexibility. Can't go dive deep into each of these tonight, but one of them that I do like to highlight is our School of Environmental Sustainability, something that speaks to me. We are a very sustainable and green campus, consistently ranked in the, being one of the top 50 greenest campuses. One of the things we do, we actually take the cafeteria grease from our 3 cafeterias, we convert that into biodiesel fuel, and that is what runs the shuttle that we have that takes our students between the 2 campuses. So it's really easy to get between the 2 campuses because we have biodiesel buses that take students back and forth. So our students feel really good about eating French fries at Loyola Chicago. Very small class sizes. So, it has that big feel, but with very individualized education, very individualized attention. Here's a little bit about the application process for you. Pretty typical, few exceptions. We are test optional, which most schools are now, and only 1 letter of recommendation that's required. A free application through the Common App is where most students apply. Our classes are in session now in person, and more so even this coming fall with dorms being double occupancy. So that's just going to get better and better, over the next year or so, life back to normal. So reach out. Here's my contact information where you can find me, where you can talk to a student, and you can reach, I'll also put this in the chat. I think it's okay if we do that, Russ. But yeah, so I'm going to put this contact there so you can just copy it easily. And I will hand it back to our facilitator. Thanks.
Thank you. Yes, definitely you can send information to our attendees using the chat. So look for that, and all of the reps can do that for contact info and the like. And if you have questions of our reps, please make sure to use the Q&A button to ask them. Up next, we'll hear from Washington University in St. Louis.
Awesome. Thanks, Russ. Well, hi, everybody. My name is Ellie. I'm an admissions officer at WashU. I'm also an alum. So I actually graduated from the university in 2016 with a major in political science and minors in legal studies and creative writing. And I'm very familiar with the seat that you were sitting in because I'm actually originally from the Bay Area. I grew up, doing what you guys are doing, went to the Bay Area case studies, and it's thrilling to be here tonight to share a little bit more about WashU. I'm going to show some pretty pictures while I chat tonight. And what I'm going to be doing is sharing kind of the 3 most important things to remember about WashU. So if you remember nothing else, you should remember these 3 things. The number 1 most important thing to remember about the university is that we have really flexible academics and a huge focus on interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary learning. So as you can see here, our university is split into 5 undergraduate divisions that are all freshman entry. So students go directly into one of the 5. The largest is the College of Arts and Sciences, which is where you find the natural sciences, social sciences, and the humanities. And no matter which division students are in at the university, they do take classes in the College of Arts and Sciences. Our second largest is the McKelvey School of Engineering. It's where you find all of our majors that end in the word engineering, as well as computer science. Our medium-sized school is the Olin Business School. So it's a freshman entry business program with majors like marketing and finance and accounting. They also have some pretty cool minors in things like the business of sports, business of entertainment, social impact. And then our 2 smallest divisions, which are housed under the Sam Fox School of Design and Visual Arts, are the College of Art and the College of Architecture. But I say flexible because even though we have these 5 divisions, there are over 90 majors, minors, and programs that are spread across them, and about 1,500 courses that we offer each year. All those classes are open to all of our students, no matter which division they call their home. So we have biomedical engineers who take art classes, or a French major in the College of Arts and Sciences who's getting a minor in computer science, or an anthropology major who's getting a second major in finance. So we like to say it doesn't have to make sense to anybody but you what you want to study, and our students definitely do take that to heart. So about 80% will pursue more than just one major. And that can be double majoring, it could be a major and a minor, 2 majors and a minor, 1 major and 2 minors. We have a rule of 3, so students can't like quadruple major or do something crazy. But if having multiple interests sounds like you definitely would not be alone at WashU, and it's a very supported experience. And we have a number of programs that kind of in and of themselves are very interdisciplinary. So take, for example, our philosophy, neuroscience, psychology major, or PNP. That's 1 major at WashU. And it was actually started by a student who really wanted to look at the mind, body, brain connection. What is consciousness? How do we study behavior? So they created their own major, which is an option through the specialized study program. And other people looked around and they said, wait, that's awesome. I want to do that too. And now PNP is actually one of the most popular majors in the College of Arts and Sciences. So we find that when we give students the ability to explore, they take it and they totally run with it. And that's where you really see academic flexibility thriving here at WashU. Number 1, most important thing. Number 2 is the campus community. It's incredibly supportive both inside and outside the classroom. So inside the classroom, it means that you're not competing against your fellow classmates. It's not the type of environment where in order to do well, for you to do well, other students have to do poorly. Instead, the way to succeed is to lean on everybody else. And that is something that is really reinforced from the very beginning at WashU. And then outside the classroom, it means that no matter what it is that you do or that you're involved in, you have people that are really going to be there to cheer you on. So we have over 400 student groups on campus, everything from like cultural groups, religious groups, performing arts groups, academic clubs, athletic clubs, community service and civic engagement are huge on our campus, student government, butter churning, beekeeping, we really have it all. And if something is not already at WashU, it's very easy to start it at WashU. So the list of clubs that we have is always growing. But like I said, I think the best part is just the people that you have supporting you. Like when folks ask me what's 1 word to describe WashU students, it's really hard because everybody's incredibly different, but all of our students are very passionate, both inside and outside the classroom. But beyond that, they're very supportive of other people's passions. And I think that piece is really key when you're talking about a community. So supportive campus environment is number 2 most important thing to remember. Number 3 is St. Louis, the city that we are in. It's part of our name. It's something that we are incredibly proud of. Fun fact, when I was in your seats, there's no way I could have pointed out St. Louis on a map, or honestly Missouri, if I was being real. Like the middle of the country, it was very foreign to me. And I decided to go to WashU because I loved the school, but I'm still here, 5 years later because I love this city. It's an incredible place. And I think a lot of people have no idea. It's, this perfect size city where it's big enough to have everything that you want in a nice big city. So it has professional sports teams and cultural attractions and lots of places to go and things to do. But it's small enough to still feel very community oriented, very easy to navigate. We actually make it even easier to navigate by giving each student a free Metro pass. So you get to ride all the St. Louis public transportation completely for free. I cannot emphasize enough how amazing that is. I feel like we're all familiar with the fact that public transportation in the Bay Area kind of sucks. It's like really expensive and it doesn't go everywhere. So being able to have great access to a public transit system, we have 2 Metrolink stops, which is like our BART system on campus. It really means that the entire city of St. Louis is open to you. And you'll find our students getting off campus all the time to explore some favorite areas, definitely like downtown St. Louis, Forest Park, which is a beautiful urban park, pretty awesome places to explore. Super quickly, you can just see here our deadlines as far as also what we are looking at as pieces of the application. You can see that we are test optional for students who are current juniors, will be seniors next year and graduating in 2022. But please feel free to reach out if you have any other questions. I will put my email in the chat and I look forward to connecting with you as you embark on this fun journey.
Thank you very much. Look in the chat for information that the representatives may be sending you. And use the Q&A if you have any questions for any of our reps. We will head from Washington University in St. Louis to Washington, D.C., an American university now.
Thank you, Russ, and good evening, everybody. My name is Christina Casleon. I'm one of the assistant directors of admission here at American University in Washington, D.C. So American University is a mid-sized private institution in D.C. We are in the most northwest part of the district. So we're about 5 miles from downtown DC, the White House, all the monuments, the start of the National Mall. And because of our location, something really unique about AU students is very similar to Washington University's. We also give students a free Metro pass to commute all throughout DC. Personally, I think DC is a very overpriced public transportation system, so it's fantastic that AU students have free access to all of the train and bus systems to commute to internships, museums, restaurants, hanging out with their friends in downtown DC. If I had to really describe AU students, the motto that the university has come up with that's really true is change makers for a changing world. So AU students are extremely passionate about making a difference, not only on their campus, but in the larger DC community. And they're not afraid to tackle pressing issues. So I would definitely consider AU students passionate, involved, engaged members of society. Because we are in a more suburban part of DC, we have a very traditional college campus, which makes us pretty unique in comparison to other major metropolitan city colleges. We have 91 acres on campus. We are a registered arboretum, so the cherry blossoms bloom on AU's campus, which is pretty fantastic and beautiful. And we were actually the first university to achieve carbon neutrality back in 2018. So sustainability is also very important to the AU community. Here are just a few pictures to highlight campus. Again, a lot of green space. We have a campus in the middle where all of our students will hang out in a more traditional semester. And really enjoy all of the outdoor space that AU's campus has to offer. And just a few pictures to highlight all of the benefits of being a student in Washington, DC, the history, the museums, the public transportation, the parks, and obviously my favorite, the food and restaurant scene. As I mentioned, AU is considered a mid-sized institution, so we have about 8,000 undergraduate students. Undergraduates are the primary focus of our campus community. You'll see we have more undergraduates in comparison to graduate and law students. So for students who are eager to connect with their professors in different research or internship opportunities, that's definitely an option at American University. Due to our undergraduates being the primary focus on campus, our small class size, our small student to faculty ratio, all of our professors must have weekly office hours. So there's plenty of opportunities for our students to connect with their faculty. And most of our faculty actually simultaneously teach on campus and work in the DC area. So they're very well connected within their professional networks. And oftentimes good relationships with professors can lead to job and internship opportunities. We also have a very diverse campus. We represent 50 states and over 123 countries. Fun fact, California is the 5th most represented state where applicants come from. So even though we're on the complete other side of the country, we have plenty of representation from California. AU has a pretty unique first year system. We've dedicated a lot of resources to our first year advising program. All of our first year students are assigned a first year advisor. That person acts as your academic advisor. They teach your first year experience course, and they're honestly your go-to support system in college in that first year. We really want to make sure students are set up for success the minute that they arrive on campus, and that's what your first year advisor and the first year advising program is designed to accomplish. Something very unique about the AU curriculum is our AU core. Some students may refer to it as a general education curriculum. We like to think of it as a checklist of critical thinking and problem solving skills that are useful in all of our majors and professional careers that our students pursue after. So we're less concerned with students completing, specific math, science, history requirements, and more focused on the soft skills that employers are really focused on with graduates that are applicable to a wide range of careers. And our core curriculum can be satisfied with pretty much any of our classes from all these different disciplines, science, humanities, government. So there's a ton of flexibility with our core curriculum. Something very unique about the AU experience is our study abroad and internship opportunities. 70% of our students go abroad as an undergraduate student, and 91% complete an internship. That's kind of what AU students are known for. It's not because it's a requirement, it's because all of these students are coming to DC and AU specifically to pursue that professional internship experience. We have a ton of great resources for students who are interested in pursuing internships, especially our Career Center. But most students who complete an internship will actually go on to complete more than one as an undergraduate student. AU has 6 undergraduate colleges. Obviously, I don't have time to go into all of them, but just to highlight the level of academic flexibility students at AU have. When you apply to AU, you are applying for admission to the university as a whole. You don't have to apply into any of these schools or specific programs. So there's a ton of flexibility for students who are interested in taking classes from different colleges, from different majors. It's very common for students to double major, to have a minor across any of these schools. Really, we're not trying to limit you in any way in terms of the classes that you're available to take. And we really not only allow it, but encourage students to take classes from all of these different schools. To highlight a few, we're also well known for our business administration program, our journalism program, and plenty of others. And I know my time is wrapping up, so I don't have time to go into all of the kind of admissions components, but in terms of being involved on campus, we have a ton of student organizations, over 150. We are a Division I athletic school, and there's just a lot of ways for AU students to be involved, not only on campus, but in the DC community. So I very much appreciate all of you attending today. I will also put my contact information in the chat, and I will pass it off to our last presenter tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And again, look in the chat for the information that the representatives are sending you, because obviously you can't get a full picture in 6 minutes, but you can get enough to see if something piques your interest. Up next, we'll hear from Hobart and William Smith College.
Hello, hello. Hopefully everyone is doing well. My name is Alan Painter, Director of Admissions here at Hobart and William Smith Colleges in the beautiful Geneva, New York. I'm going to share my screen here. I'm not as quick and savvy as everyone else is, so please forgive me. We are a small school located at the top of Lake Seneca in the Finger Lakes region of New York. As you can see, I love the lake there. I stare at it daily. Actually, as you're looking at this, you can see my offices right there. But anyway, it's a fantastic area. Don't know if you've ever come to the area, but you've probably heard of, you know, the snow in Syracuse and the snow in Buffalo, ranging from, I don't know, 5 to 10 feet. Know that we don't get that snow. There's a really scientific reason for why here in Geneva we don't see that volume. But enough about the snow, because I don't want to scare you off there. Really quick, some fun, not fun facts, but some quick facts about us. We're a small school with just over 2,000 students. Average class size is about 16 students. Student fact ratio is 10 to 1. We certainly pride ourselves in small class sizes and the student faculty relationships. And what was pretty unique this year, as we did open this fall, this past fall, our faculty clearly felt that it was so important that they were here with the students, researching and interacting with our students. So we managed quite well. I actually started here in September, and during that first week there, we had perhaps our largest amount of cases, and that was 10 students. And then 2 weeks later, we were down to 6 straight weeks of 0 cases. So we've been managing extremely well and very proud of that. And now, of course, we're loving that we have the opportunity to bring families to campus for our virtual events, but also in-person events and interviews and so forth. So things are going well. Really quick, as you think about Hobart and William Smith colleges, you'll hear us say the colleges, HWS, Hobart and William Smith. So what is it about these two names? We have this unique coordinate heritage system where you have 2 colleges here: Hobart College for Men, founded in 1822, and William Smith Colleges for Women, founded in 1908. But we do have a history that dates back to 1797 at Geneva Academy, or also Geneva Medical School, where the first female doctor, Elizabeth Blackwell, graduated from. So a really rich history here. With the two schools here, students do have the opportunity to benefit from 2 unique traditions, but of course we are still one school. So if you are graduating from here as a male student, you have the opportunity to have on your graduation diploma saying Hobart College, or you can choose Hobart and William Smith. And likewise for the ladies, you can choose William Smith College or Hobart and William Smith colleges. So that's just a tad bit about that history. A unique thing we'll talk about is the curriculum here. Like very many liberal arts colleges, we do benefit from quite a unique curriculum that might be, sometimes you'll see a core curriculum, sometimes you'll see an open curriculum. We have what's called the 8 goals here. And as you can see, our eight goals are those things that we want you to complete during your time here at Hobart and William Smith colleges. We do have 46 majors as well as 68 minors here, in addition to several specialized areas. And we have some fantastic partnerships with RIT for business. We also have a 3+3 with Cornell, which is Cornell University is just under an hour down the road. And then 2 pre-engineering partnerships. We also have a master's in teaching, so it's a 4+1 right here. And then new this fall, we will have a master's in management, which will be a partnership with Rochester. We also have these unique learning centers for leadership, the Finger Lakes Institute, which gives students an opportunity to go out on Lake Ontario, Lake Seneca, and all the other Finger Lakes and do some fascinating work. And of course, the Bozzuto Center for Entrepreneurship, which has an annual contest, kind of resembles Shark Tank, if you will, but we call it the pitch. And at the end of that contest, one student will be granted $10,000 for their business idea. So that is pretty cool that I got to witness that this year. The community experience, obviously, study abroad has been a huge one for us. 65% of our students study abroad here in more than 50 locations. I love the fact that our students do have the opportunity to study abroad at multiple locations and still graduate in 4 years. I just spoke with a young man recently who had four trips. He just finished a short-term trip recently and has again graduating on time. And it looks like I'm running out of time. Division III sports, with the exception of our men's lacrosse program, is a Division I program. And then, of course, lastly, careers, internships, all those things. Everyone's guaranteed an internship, and as well as paid internship. So again, Alan Painter, I'm going to drop my information in the box there, and feel free to reach out whenever you have questions.
Thank you very much. And Alan mentioned the chat. You look in there, you'll see the information that the representatives have sent you. At this point, I will ask all of our representatives to turn their cameras on and come back on and turn their microphones on. And we've got a quick little Q&A session we can do here in the final 5 minutes or so that we have in this session. A little bit of value added in this Explore session. And we'll have you answer in the same order that you presented. So we'll start with Williams College. And the first question is, what one piece of advice would you give someone going through the college search process right now? Again, we'll start with Williams College.
I would say spend a bit of time, like, before getting overwhelmed by the websites and what other places say they're looking for. Like, spend a little bit of time thinking about what you like doing, what have you liked, what are you looking for, and sort of do some of that internal work before looking at sort of the things that might end up swaying you or pushing you. Sort of center first.
Davidson College.
Yeah, let yourself be surprised through this process. I think we go through this a lot of, you should do this, you should look at this school, you should apply to this school. Your friends, your family, the people around you have a lot to say. But I think hopefully one of the things you'll realize this evening or soon is that there are a lot of colleges out there with some really cool stuff, a lot of them that you've never even heard of, that can be a great fit for you. So especially as you have the virtual opportunities to explore more broadly than you would have if you were just on a college road trip over spring break or something like that. Let yourself, explore, enjoy it, and, stumble upon some things and places that, you maybe wouldn't have expected.
Loyola University Chicago.
Yeah, no, my advice would be to take advantage of all of the resources that are out there. You know, that this last year has had a lot of hard things in it, but one of the silver linings has been all of the new ways that we've learned how to do things. And because of that, there are just so many new ways that you can explore universities. And what I hope that does is permits students to explore more universities. You know, if you are only thinking you have to visit the university to be serious about it, then that really limits what you can look at. But now, you know, our virtual tours have gotten so much better. What we do, you know, virtually for individual meetings. I mean, I have loved that aspect of this last year. And I think we're going to move towards being open again, and you're going to be able to visit our campuses and come meet us in person. But, you know, take advantage of these virtual opportunities to explore unique and different schools that you might not otherwise be able to do.
Washington University, St. Louis.
Yeah, so mine's a little bit related to what Jillian said and is a little bit of what not to do. But don't get involved in things just because you think they'll look good on your college applications, and don't be something you're not throughout the application process. We're trying to admit you, not who you think we want to admit. And that's a really important thing to keep in mind throughout the entire process. It's all about genuine fit, and you can't get that if you're not genuine through your application.
American University.
I was also going to say something very similar to Ellie's, to be genuine. When we took the poll question in my case studies group, the number one concern that students had was that they didn't think their life or their story was extraordinary enough to convey to colleges, and that it wouldn't be very meaningful, you know, through an application. And your life and story don't have to be meaningful. We just want you to be genuine. So don't write about an essay topic that you think we want to hear, or like Ellie said, be involved in what you think the stereotypical, you know, extracurriculars might be at your particular school. Create and craft an application that is genuine to who you are, and really share your genuine story, as extraordinary or normal as that might be, because we ultimately want to make sure that you are going to succeed on our campus, and we can't do that if you're not showing a genuine version of yourself. So don't worry if your story is not as extraordinary you think it is. We really just want to genuinely get to know you through the application process.
And Hobart and William Smith College.
I'm going to take a little turn here. I'm the old guy on the call. I'm the father of 3 college students, so I've had the privilege of seeing lots of these schools during this time period. And I'll just disclose now, I'm a Davidson dad too. So, you know, take your parents along on this trip. You know, you hear all of these crazy stories about, you know, helicopter parents, and you hear about scandals of this and that, but parents are also a really good resource in this process. They're going to ask questions that you may not think to ask. They're going to be able to field some of those emails that you might not understand, and hey, and you know what? Sometimes they can share some of their experiences. Now don't let them own it. By all means, this is your process. You know, but certainly have fun with this. Let them have fun with this too, especially if you're there first. It's just a pretty exciting time. It's an exciting time for the family. So just enjoy this time as a family.
Well, thank you all for sharing that great advice, and also thank you for sharing the information about each of your institutions. And thank our attendees for joining us tonight. When you close this window, there'll be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. Also, this is just one of many sessions being hosted. Be sure to sign up for more, including there are 2 more tonight after this one. So make sure you sign up the same place you signed up for this one. And in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording, as well as all of the other session recordings at strivescan.com/BACS or BACS. Once again, thank you to each of our presenters for sharing all that great information. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. Take care.